All right, this week in the lab, we're going to be building our infrastructure to do the application layer labs we'll be doing over the next few weeks. This week, we're going to build it, and then we're going to do some experimentations with NAT, network address translation, to make sure we understand what the commands we put in do. And then we're also going to look at access control list for a bit. So that's this week. This week is building the config, and then NAT and access control list. So if you look at this diagram, basically you're going to have VLAN 2, VLAN 3, a switch, trunk port on the switch, router connected. We're doing inter VLAN routing for VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. You're going to connect your router into my switch into the specified port. And then through my network, you can get out to the internet and you can get to my DNS server. So I have some words here that tell you how to configure things. FA01 should be for the inside, FA00 should be for the outside. There's a table that tells you which port and IP to use. So basically this just tells you what to do. A couple things to note. I tell you to use a /25 on one of your VLANs and a /26 on the other. Make sure you do that. I give you the commands for NAT, and then we'll go through and make sure that we know what those commands are doing later on as we walk through the lab. You should look down at the table to see what subnet I've given you and what your gateway should be and what switch port you should plug into. So basically, this is I am simulating your internet service provider. If you go out to some internet service provider, you're like, hey, I need to connect my network to the internet. They're going to ask you, okay, well, do you need any extra IP addresses? And you're going to say, yes, I need some for my servers. And they'll say, okay, well, we're going to give you this. So basically, I've defined a /27 network that I'm giving you. You cannot use your gateway IP address because I need to have an IP address in your subnet so you can route traffic to me. And I've taken the first IP address that's usable in each of those subnets for my gateway IP address. So you will need to not use that address for anything, but then you can use any other address. I'm going to use these 99 addresses on my config demonstration because nobody's using those this semester. So basically I have from 99.99.99.0 up to 99.99.99.31 to use. I can't use .1 because that is the IP address the ISP is using. So I can use any of those other IP addresses for whatever purpose I deem fit. And I'm going to use one of them for my router. So I'm going to put .2 on my router. And that's really all we need to worry about right now for IP addresses. So probably take the second usable address, that'll be one higher than whatever your gateway is, and put that on your router. So if we go back up, you can follow the steps to configure your stuff. I'm going to go ahead and configure my stuff. This week, your packet tracer assignment is due before class. So I want you to build this before you come to make sure that you know what you are doing. So this is a template you can download from D2L. I've simulated what we have in school. Here's in the lab. Here's the 203 switch. Here's a 201 switch. The switch ports are in the proper VLANs as specified on the document. So you need to do that stuff. So basically, I'm going to connect my things first. It says for me to use 00 to the rich net, and I'm going to be in port 8 on the 203 switch. At least I think that's what I specified. Yeah, VLAN 99 is on port 8, so I'm going to connect my router to port 8, FA00 to port 8 on the switch. I'm going to connect my router to my switch. I always go to 24. I don't know why, I just like to do that. And then I'm going to connect my PCs to my switch. I'll go port 2 for VLAN 2 and port 3 for VLAN 3. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and configure my things. I'll do my switch first. This is the same stuff we've been doing all semester, so hopefully you're good at it by now. I'm going to make, I need to be interface FA0/1, switch port, access VLAN 2. And I'm going to go in port, that's not right, port 2 was supposed to be VLAN 2. I'm going to go port 3 for VLAN 3. And I'm going to go port 24 for trunking. Switch port mode trunk. So that's the config required on the switch at this point. We can do a couple things. We can do show VLAN brief and see that I have port 1 and 2 in VLAN 2, port 3 in VLAN 3. You can use whatever ports you want. Just make sure you plug into the proper ports. All right, so that's my switch config. You can also do show int trunk, but it's not going to show up yet because the switch port. What? Yeah, nothing showed up because the router interface is not up yet. So we'll do the router quickly. My FA00 is connected to conft. So I already typed conft, so I thought I was typing a different command. So my FA00 is connected to the richnet, so I need to give it my public IP address, which was 99.99.99.2 with a 27-bit net mask, which is 224. All right, and my FA01 is connected to my switch, so I need to do no shutdown on the physical interface, and then I need to create my sub interfaces. And I do the encapsulation command. So this interface is for VLAN 2, and I can give it an IP address, and I'm going to give it 10.1.1.1. I'll tell you what to use in the table, in the sheet, 10.1.1.1/25. So that'll be 255.255.255.128. All right, so now I'm going to create my other sub interface. I'm going to give it an IP address. The subnet mask is going to be 192, and the IP address is going to be 129. And you're probably, hopefully you're thinking, hey Rich, you forgot the encapsulation. You're right, I did that on purpose again to demonstrate yet again that, hey, don't forget the encapsulation command. You can't put an IP address on until you do the encapsulation command. Sorry. So that is the interface config I need to do right now. Let's go check my sheet. Blah, blah, blah. Did all that. Use the IP route command to add a static default route. So we'll do that. IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, and then, did I make that too? Yeah. So that's the IP address from the table, right? Down here in my table it says the gateway IP 99.1. That's what I'm using. You'll use whatever matches your config. All right, so I believe that is it for the basic config. All right, now we need to put the NAT commands in there, and we go over what these commands do in the NAT part of the lab, so I'm not going to go over all those, but we need to create a access list. We're going to create a standard access list. It's going to match our traffic on the internal network, and again, the NAT part is going to go through what these commands are doing, so you can just put these commands in there for now. IPNAT inside source lists 1 int fa0/0 overload. So basically this is implementing port address translation. This says I want to do that on the inside interface, change the source. I want things that match list 1. This is list 1 that we created, and I wanted to give it the IP address of fa00, and overload does the network address the port address translation. So those are the two commands we need. And finally, we need to go back to our interfaces and label them as inside or outside. IPNAT outside for the outside interface. And then for the sub interfaces, you don't need to do it on the physical interface unless you're actually using it, which we are not in this case. We need to label those as inside, IPNAT inside. IPNAT inside. So I need to go configure my PCs. You're going to be using a Linux VM on one of these for part of the lab, so you might want to go ahead and get that set. This guy's going to be 10.1.1.2 with a 25-bit mask, and the gateway is 10.1.1.1. DNS, you're going to set that for 100.100.100.2, which is my DNS server for now. Let's go ahead and make sure we can ping our gateway. Ping 10.1.1.1. All right, that's good. Let's set this guy. It's going to be 10.1.1.130. This is going to be one of the IPs you can use. I'm pretty sure I want you to use 130 on your Linux machine. So if you're doing your Windows first, then you will want to make that something other than 130. 129 is the gateway, and again 100.100.100.2 for DNS. That's not what I wanted. We'll try to ping 10.1.1.129. All right, we'll ping the other side of our router. That worked. We'll ping the RichNet gateway. We'll try this. I haven't fully tested this template file, so hopefully this works. All right, that works. And we should be able to ping 100.100.100.2, which is my simulated web server out there, which sometimes it takes a while for the ping to work. Yeah, there we go. So all seems to be good with my config. I don't know if I've turned on the web server out here. Services. Yeah, it's on. So I can hit that page with a browser. Config 100.100.100.2. So that's the config we'll be doing this week to get started on the lab. It shouldn't take you very long since we've been doing it over and over again, and it's mostly the same stuff we've been doing over and over again. Once you get it all configured, you should still be able to get out to the internet through the RichNet because I have it connected out through there. So don't forget, you need to do this in Packet Tracer before class this week. There's a Dropbox for it specially before class. This is our Packet Tracer assignment for the week to make us be ready for class this week. So if you have any problems, let me know, and I will help you out.